This is part 3 of our errors in programs series, and we're going to be looking at the try command. Now, the try command is a lovely little feature. Some other programs call it try catch. And the way it works is you get this little block called a try except block. And so you have a try and then the except word and then end. You'll notice there's no begin. So this is like the case statement. It has its end, but it doesn't have a begin. So that's one thing to be aware of. Now, all the code that you want to execute, you put after the try statement. And that could be a whole bunch of code. That could be a whole series of code of trying to read from a text file, for example. And so that's the code that you want to execute. Now, if something goes wrong with any bit of the code in between or underneath the try statement, then it will jump to the except part. And that's where you can do what you want to do in the event that an error occurs. Maybe you want to display some messages. Some people sometimes use this to set default values or to roll back certain features so that it doesn't affect the rest of the program. So your program won't crash. But what it does do is it jumps to this part. So if there's any part that your program will crash, will result in them crashing, it'll jump and run the code in the except part. So let's have a look at how that works. So here we've got a very similar example to what we had in the previous video. So we're going to look at the try statement. So there we've got a rnum that is going to be getting a value from an edit control. Then we're just going to display the value in that rnum variable. So let's have a look. And so everything works perfectly fine when we have a valid integer. But if we have something that's not valid, that causes the program to crash. Now, how can we prevent that? Now, I'm going to use a try statement. So I'm going to say try, and then underneath, and it doesn't have to be one line of code. We get lots of lines of code. I'm going to put a space and it says finally. Now, there is another feature. It's called try finally. And so we don't need to worry about that. I'm just going to say try except. That is the other option. Try finally, it'll run all that code and it will always run the code in the finally bit. So a lot of times when you get to objects, when you learn about objects, you'll learn about free and objects. Sometimes they use it there in the finally part. But here we are going to try this code. And if something goes wrong, well, what do we want to do? Well, I'm going to say, hey, something went wrong. Show message. Something went wrong. Obviously, you would write a better error message there. Something went wrong. And I'm going to default rnum in case I still want to use rnum. I'm going to default rnum to 0, for example. So if something happened, I'm going to set rnum to 0. So at least we can still use it in this event. So all the code that, this code will never run unless there's a problem with the code over here between the try and the except. So let's run it and see what it does. So I'm going to run it. And I'm going to type in 45. And you'll notice that it displays 45. It doesn't display something went wrong in that. But if I make an error, it's going to still crash. Now you say, why is Mr. Long lying to us? Well, he said that it would stop the crash. Well, there's two things. It does actually stop. It just doesn't stop when you run it in Delphi. If I go to the executable file that was created, so I'm just going to run the executable file now. Exactly the same program, but if I run it from here and not through Delphi, give it the exact same input, do you notice now it's doing the something went wrong and it's displaying the default value of rnum, which is we changed it to a 0. So it runs over here in the Delphi exe file. But how do we want to, what happens if we want to test it here? Okay, well, we can do that. All you got to do is go to Tools, you got to go to Options, and when the options pop up, we're going to go all the way down to the debugger options. And I think it's language exceptions. Yeah, this little part here. Notify on language exceptions. We're going to click that off, please. So when you click that off, then your try catches or try accepts should run as if they were running from the exe. So if I type in 45.5, there we go. So now you can see it's running like we would want it to run inside of Delphi. Okay, so that is the try except clause or block. So whatever code you want to run, you put between the try and the except. And after the except, you write all the code that must run in the event that something went wrong with the code between the try and except, that caused it to crash or it didn't execute properly or something like that. So, so your runtime errors particularly, that's where you want to have this type of try except block. For more videos in this video series, as well as other videos on Delphi, please go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, like our videos, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and remember, don't do it the long way, do it the Mr. Long way.